Hey, what's up everybody? Anthony Sevins back again for another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife, fully loaded with spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie yet, do not watch this. Or if you don't care about spoilers, I guess you can stick around if you want to. But if you're still here at this point in time, let's rock and roll.
Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You'll have to forgive me as I try to compute my thoughts on this gorgeous movie that I saw. And I saw Ghostbusters last night. 2021, Ghostbusters Afterlife, a movie that fans have been clamoring for and has been pushed back like 3-4 times over the past year and a half due to the pandemic. We should have seen this movie, months ago, months and months back. But we finally get it. We go to see it, and wow, just wow. We had to endure for all of these years the remake of the Ghostbusters, which was, I believe it was 2016, was when the female Ghostbusters movie came out, and not many of us really enjoyed that. I'm not going to sit here and tear the shit out of it, but I will say this, to me, even though the female Ghostbusters movie was just a fun movie-going experience, it certainly was not genuine Ghostbusters by any means. I mean, it was a movie that tried to reinvent every damn thing, and it was a special effects extravaganza from beginning to end that I think that they went really way too overboard with. It was a movie that just kind of screamed, look, this is also Ghostbusters too. And it's kind of like, no, it's not. But, nowadays I try not to negatively bash a movie, especially like a universe film like the female Ghostbusters movie. I just say that took place in a parallel universe. It has nothing to do with the first two Ghostbusters movies. It just takes place in a parallel dimension and doesn't really exist in the world that we love. And we'll leave it at that. But it had its cool moments, But with this film, it really, truly, genuinely felt, from the acting to the practical effects and the special effects that were used, and the beautiful, sweeping motion picture score that was excruciatingly reminiscent of Elmer Bernstein's score from the original Ghostbusters movie. The music, everything, it was just, wow. What a movie. And, the way that the younger cast and how they balanced it out with the younger cast and the older cast. I mean, granted, I wish that we could have seen a little bit more of the original cast, but at the same time, it was perfect enough. You had a little scene with Ray Stantz in there, which was, had us fans going like, it's Ray, it's Ray. And then at the end, when everybody came back, it was just like, the theaters went crazy. Everyone went nuts, because it wasn't just some throw it out cameo. I mean, it was our Ghostbusters suiting up and throwing down in the final battle against Gozer. It was amazing to see that. And with what they did with Egon Spengler, it was genuine and heartfelt and very touching and very moving. Even from the very opening scene where you see Egon in the shadows, they don't reveal his true self, but you clearly know it's Egon. You see a bit of his glasses and the hair, and it just was like, ooh, gave me shivers, man. Gave me shivers. It was perfect. I mean, if I could ask for anything more, I wanted Louis Tully to show up in there. I was kind of hoping he was going to come with the guys at the end suited up because, you know, he suited up in the last movie in Ghostbusters 2. So I thought maybe he would have been an unofficial part of the team, just to have extra backup, you know, because Spangler was missing from that crew. But for what it was, I thought it was great. I thought it was beautiful. And just the story too. The story was so perfect because you think about the end of the first Ghostbusters film. Well, the only thing that the Ghostbusters killed was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Gozer got away. Vince and Zool got away. So to have that all come back, you know, it was a full circle movie. You know, it was kind of like, you got to finish what was started in the first film. If Gozer and her minions got away, obviously she could come back, and that's exactly what this story was. And it would not have been complete without the original Ghostbusters in there, you know, throwing down against Gozer. You know, that's what made it complete. They came back to finish the job that they started back in New York, back in the 80s, and it was like something they knew that they had to do. Especially for Egon. And to have the ghost of Egon show up at the very end, you know, when Phoebe's standing there with the proton wand and you see Egon's hand come up and grab, and he was walking side by side with her, and the emotion that flooded through almost every fan, men and women alike. Your heart's racing, you're crying, you're sobbing. It's just like, oh my God, I cannot believe what I'm fucking seeing. It's gorgeous. And the emotion on screen from the original Ghostbusters, it was just, everything it was so awesome. And I don't know, there's nothing about this film that I can complain about. I think the biggest complaint I've heard from fans and critics was that, well, yeah, it took a long time to get to the big action and stuff. But, you know, you think about that for a minute. It really was a basic human story. There was a family that moved to the farm, and the kids found out that they were the grandkids of a Ghostbuster, and they didn't realize that this house held a lot of mystery, and the mother just wanted to sell the house, but they wound up having to stay. And it was pretty much, you know, it was telling the story, the journey of this family getting kicked out and moving to this place and not really knowing what to do. One kid goes to school, one kid goes to work, and, you know, the mom's there, and, you know, she has a thing with the teacher, but it was really, this was truly an Egon Spangler story. You know, Egon was the entity that was showing everybody the way. You know, it's like, you guys have to be prepared. Some shit's about to go down, and I need to warn my family, and they need to warn the guys, and everybody needs to warn everybody. And it was just so cool. And the acting from the younger cast was just off the chain. I mean, Finn Wolfhard, for example, you know, his performance, that kid is hands down a horror movie icon by this point in time. Between Stranger Things and the It movies and now Ghostbusters, seal the deal, Finn Wolfhard is a horror icon. And, you know, the girl who played Phoebe, McKenna Grace, she was just fucking awesome. And the other little kid, I forgot the actor's name, but the little guy Podcast. I mean, there was so much fun and heart and comedy in this movie, yet it was the original Ghostbusters. I think they did all the ghosts and the devil dogs just right, just perfect. It was amazing. And they did Gozer just right, and the way that they did the traps, the ghost trap on wheels, and even like seeing Ecto-1 in its full glory. It's like the same old Ecto-1 that we remember, but now it has a trap door in the bottom. It's got the gunner's chair, and there was just so much cool shit going on. Everything about this movie was just right for us fans. From the cast, to the music, to the effects, to the ghosts, to the villains, done deal. And then even the after credit scenes, those were really cool too. And you have Dana Barrett shocking Peter with the little machine, the zapper machine, and then showing that Winston actually wound up purchasing the firehouse and taking care of it, and kind of, it really was the perfect setup to start a whole new series of genuine Ghostbusters sequels from here on out. And I just hope and pray that they continue to make these movies just as good, if not better, than what we saw with Ghostbusters Afterlife. So a huge round of applause, man. A round of applause for Jason Reitman. I'm giving Ghostbusters Afterlife a 9.5 out of 10. And I think that if we would have seen a little bit more of our original heroes, and maybe a little Louis Tully in there, I probably would have given it a solid 10 or even more. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10. And if you are a fan of the original 2 Ghostbusters films, you have to go see this movie. And I can almost guarantee, although I cannot form opinions for everybody, but I can almost guarantee that you will love the shit out of it. Anyways, that's all I got for you. It's Anthony Sevins. Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. See you next time.